Hi, so we're in the London Welsh Centre. We're with Martin Daws, an award-winning poet and an old friend actually. It's been quite a while since we saw each other.
A couple of years.
3 years, something like that. Yeah. And in that time, wow, gone straight up to the top with the poetry and you know, the spoken words. Do you want to tell us a bit about your journey and what you've been doing the last couple of years?
Yeah, well, I've been writing spoken words 20 years. 1994 I started, so that's 22 years now. And I've just been trying to get better all the time, really. So started off slow progression. I got inspired by the New York Poets Cafe. They come over to tour the UK in 1994. I saw them in London. They played the ICA and then they played the Tabernacle, and that really inspired me. There was a guy in that group called Willie Perdomo, who's still going. He's still going in poetry in New York. He's heavy, and he really inspired me. So really, I've just been trying to fulfil the inspiration I had, because when I saw them, I went, I want to do that, and I'm still trying to find that. You know?
That's good. We all know you as like the English man with the Welsh heart, which is great. You've been in Bethesda for, is it 15 years?
15 years.
Yeah. And what you've been doing recently is working with the younger generation. So you're keeping the roots of spoken word, but you give it a bit of an urban feel, which obviously the younger generation relates to. And you've worked a lot with them. Yeah,
I think that's fair to say. I mean, my writing now, I try and fuse everything together, all the different influences. So, having grown up in the London area as a kid, hip-hop was a big influence on me in the 80s. And then other aspects of music, and music from the African diaspora, a massive influence in my life. So that comes within me. That's my model for oral tradition. And then now I find myself living in North Wales, where we've got the ancient roots of the Welsh language, and we've got the ancient Welsh language tradition of Canghenid, the Welsh language metered poetry. So you've got that tradition there, and then also I've got the hip-hop influence and everything in between as well. And just really ultimately trying to find a language in which I can be myself. I think that's my journey, and that involves my past, my present, and my future. Yeah,
that's really good. I think as tonight, we're in the interview right now, but the audience are mainly Welsh, and they're quite captivated by you purely because you're English, but you're speaking in Welsh in parts of the, you know, it's kind of a mixed language, English and Welsh, but you feel something for North Wales. You've been there a long time, and you've grasped something that probably people wouldn't know unless they live there. So I think it's raw material that you're giving to the people.
I hope so. I mean, I try and be honest, and I had an experience in 2013. I was given the honour of becoming the National Youth Poet of Wales, and when I got asked to do that, I really felt like Wales and like the National Literature Institution of Wales, Literature Wales, were showing me love, and my heart opened. It really did. And funnily enough, it was around the time that the Six Nations rugby was on, and England were playing Wales. And I was thinking, oh no, I can't support England if I'm the young people's laureate for Wales. And it was when Wales had a massive victory in Cardiff as well. So it all happened. And Alex Cuthbert was running in tries, and he was from England before, so it was like, well, if he could do it, I can. And I kind of, my heart opened, you know. And then through that process of being the Young People's Laureate, I got to meet a much wider circle of people, but got to know a lot more Welsh language artists, and they were an influence on me, and it educated me as to the power of the Welsh identity and culture, but also it's really rich territory. I mean, it's phenomenally rich territory. If you think of my own narrative, as you were saying, and all the influence I had from black culture as a youth. Well, again, I was an outsider to that through my ethnicity, but then now I'm an outsider to Welsh culture through my nationality. So it's still these divisions between self and other, and I think that's a really deep seam that runs through my life. I'm interested in crossing those bridges. And, you know, it's a massive compliment when I hear you know, Indigenous Welsh people telling me that they like what I'm saying, they're interested in what I have to say, and then maybe there's a lot of English incomers into North Wales, and the cultures can be quite divided, particularly down lines of language, but also down lines of class, in that you get a lot of middle class incomers coming because they love the environment, or they come to work in the universities, they're highly skilled professionals, and then you have a working class community who are Welsh speaking, and, you know, as with any divided society, they don't mix on terms of class, and then you've got a different language reinforcing that. So hopefully I'm trying to build a bridge across that, and when I get respect from the people who are born and bred up there, it means a hell of a lot to me. And I mean, one person said to me, oh, you know, yeah, thank goodness, finally someone said it, you know, someone's saying it, from all the English people who are their friends around them, you know, that someone's like got up and actually tried to make a point about this, to find our place within it. And you know, it's coming from my heart, so there's love within that. And I think when you show love, people return it.
No,
so although it's a
I
critical
agree.
love to a degree, but I've got a different perspective. So hopefully, it's widening all of the angles and the kaleidoscope of perspective that we have in North Wales. Because obviously, as someone who's only been living there 15 years, I have a slightly different perspective.
Yeah, no, but that's good. And I think where you're crossing bridges in many ways, because even tonight there's a few older generations sitting there, not really understanding, but you're giving them something in our generation or even younger, but they're going, oh, okay, yeah, I understand this, and you know, you are blending a lot together.
Yeah, well, I try and cross that over. I had an event once with a writer group, and I got there, and everyone was kind of of a retirement age or over, and I was a bit nervous about that, thinking, oh, you know, what should I do? But you know, I just did what I did, and that was the poems that I had currently at that time. Some of them were quite urban in their context, and they really liked it. And I think it's wrong to prejudge people because of their age.
Absolutely,
in so many different ways, but it really is wrong. You know, and you know, just try it out.
Yeah,
because you might think, oh, this is really hip, and then young people won't like it.
Yeah, and the older generation appreciate that. You know, there's
they got more experience and wisdom.
Exactly. Yeah,
come
we take it for granted.
Yeah, so I mean, it's wonderful being here. Special thing for me, having grown up in the London area, living in North Wales, written the book Gary Gog's North Wales Poems. So to come and launch it here, kind of ties something off in my life. You know, to return the journey. I've left London to go to Wales, and then to bring it back from Wales to here, kind of ties the journey. And what an awesome place to do it in. So
brilliant.
It's been a real honour to be here. I can't wait for the second half.
So with this, have you worked with any people that people will know?
Yeah,
in the production of it.
Yeah, there's three people that I thank at the front of the book, and one is National Theatre Wales. They had me working for them in a residency in the Arts Centre in Bangor Pontior. That was a week-long event called Made in Bangor, and I was working with people in Bangor and taking their stories and turning them into a poetry performance that was performed at the end of the week we were working at. And there's a poem in here that's kind of my take on that experience, so that was really generated by National Theatre Wales, so thanks to them. Also thanks to Aneirin Caradog, who's the Privardd from Eisteddfod Cenedlaethol 2016. He was a friend of mine. And while I was Young People's Laureate, he was Bardd Plant Cymru, so he was the children's Welsh language poet. Became a really good friend of mine, and he helped me with the bilingual poem that's in Hipali, and he also translated an English language poem Under the Slates into Tanallechi, the Welsh language translation of it, which I read. So big thanks to Aneirin, and he's also a real touchstone for me as regards Welsh culture. And also Nine Bach, the band Nine Bach.
I was just going to say Nine Bach.
From Bethesda.
They're involved.
You know, award-winning kind of future folk band from Bethesda. Two of the poems in here were commissioned by them. One for a show of theirs they had called Llechi, and one also went on the English language companion CD to their album Anyan. That CD is called Undillais, but I have a poem on that. It's called At Night the Dreamers Poets.
Fantastic.
And here it is, like the heart of this book is the poem Love Letter to Bethesda. That was part of their show, Llechi. And that went down so well in that show that I realised that there was legs in writing about North Wales, and I could collect all my North Wales poems and write some new ones, and that's how the book come about. So big thanks to Nine Bach.
Fantastic. So yeah, since we last met, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, you've done a lot. You was at BBC Wales today.
Yeah.
Doing.
I was on the art show.
Yeah.
It was Santa's Dwinwen today, so it's the Welsh Valentines, and I read my love letter to Bethesda.
It's all about love tonight.
I read my love letter to Bethesda as part of the Santa's Dwinwen celebration.
Fantastic. And what do we have to look forward to in the next couple of months, or the rest of the year?
Well, right now I'm involved in the League Creative School Scheme because we've got a massive investment in creative education in Wales at the moment. So we've got a 5-year project, 20 million quid. It's been invested in creative arts.
Fantastic.
So people like myself are really busy working in schools and inspiring young people and like developing pedagogy and creative ways of educating young people. So working with teachers to develop that. So I'm really busy doing that. So the next couple of months really I'm like flat out working with schools, and then I'm going to take a little break after the Easter as we go into the summer term, and I'm going to write another book. That's the plan. Yeah,
not doing much then.
No, well, I try and keep busy, you know, and I do enjoy being busy, and you know, bits and bobs. But the next book's going to be kind of global political. It's called Balloon Ride Over Brooklyn. That's the next one. That should be out sometime later in the year.
Great stuff. Okay, so you need to get back to the second half now. You're working with a couple of artists.
Yeah, Hugh V. Williams on the bass, Jack Port from the London Welsh Centre, he was on the piano, and also my friend Shagun Lee French is going to join us with vocals.
Fantastic. All the links are below. Check out this guy, he's wonderful. See you soon.